Right now is the best time ever to grow fast on Instagram. It's literally never been easier if you follow a proven strategy. Now, I'm saying this because I've helped my clients grow over 5 million followers, gain over 20 billion views, and make over $1 million combined over the past 2 years. And if you're currently struggling to get your first or your next 10,000 targeted followers, in this video, I'll show you my full process, the 3-step building blocks my top performing clients are doing right now to grow views as well as revenue as fast as possible and to get results like these. Step 1. I'm currently running a 6-week cohort mastermind, and this has been by far the #1 problem. Most creators make their content about themselves, and they are not even aware of it, to be honest. They talk about their journey, their wins, their opinions, assuming people already know them, but they don't. They probably hate you at first once they see. I probably hated you at first when I saw you. Anyway, just this one thing, changing the frame away from basically having your content be, look at me, I'm so cool, I did this, towards, hey there, there's something in it for you. Just that framework shift makes all the rest of the building blocks naturally fall together. So let me show you an example to show you exactly what's up here. This here is Henry, and he's currently struggling with getting traction. And this is actually the video he sent me in. I'm not gonna play the full one, but just the hook part, so you get the idea.
A realistic journey of a beginner videographer. So just over a year ago, I came back from a year out traveling. I had some time to think about what I truly wanted in life. I made a resolve when I got back home.
Right, so instantly we can kind of see the problem right here, right? I came back from a year out. I had some time to think about what I truly wanted in life. When I got back home, I was to shit my pants, because frankly, I just don't care. Remember, people don't care. Nobody cares, because ultimately people are just weird and they just care about themselves. That's the way it is. Still, despite this reel itself sort of being boring and very eye focused, there's a bunch of gold nuggets in there that we can repackage or recreate into something people actually watch and into something that makes Henry actually grow followers that actually care. So first of all, what we're gonna do here, just to show you that you can do this yourself as easy as possible, we're gonna take this and pull this hook into my custom built hook AI analyzer to analyze your hooks based on these principles here as well. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a screenshot of the first frame of the hook right here. There you go. And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna put his text hook or his spoken hook right there, and then we're just gonna add his first frame screenshot of his visual hook basically, and then we're just gonna hit analyze, and then basically my brain has been cloned into this thing. So here's what my analyzer came up with. Hook score 3 out of 10. Dominic would say this hook sucks, and I say the same. Well, honestly, I would give it a 1 out of 10 to be honest, but that's not a bad thing because we want to learn from this, okay? You want to take something away from this as well, right? We're not just gonna laugh at people. But yeah, no. So without going into the details right here, we can instantly see the problem. You are starting with you, not the viewer. Basically what we just said. There's zero tension, no curiosity gap, no pattern break. If somebody doesn't already know who you are, they'll scroll before you even finish a realistic journey, which is very true, by the way. I couldn't have said it better. And then basically give you some improvement tips, but let's actually do this together. So the first step, before we actually fix our scripts, fix our hooks, and fix our whole content strategy to be able to grow as fast as possible, before we even touch any sort of hook or script, we're gonna need to do what 99% of creators never do. We need to understand the audience this particular reel is meant for. Video, carousel, whatever, right? So kind of step 1A is, let's understand who we're really talking to. So I don't know exactly what Henry is really doing and what his goals really are. So let's just assume he's not just documenting this whole thing for fun and invisible internet points, but let's just say his goal is to help people go through the exact same as him, right? From struggling videographer to not even knowing what to do to attracting crazy brand deals. By the way, in his video, he basically said suddenly he was able to work with brands and be on stage with Skrillex, right? So that's something. So let's assume he wants to help people do the same. So his audience is likely beginner or stuck creatives or videographers, people who just feel lost, don't know where to go. They want to improve their craft and start out, let's say, as a new videographer, right? Just assuming that. But just knowing that, what we just talked about, watch what happens when we look at this sort of all over the place script again and rewrite it for this audience that we just mapped out. If you're feeling stuck as a videographer, I was too, until a few small changes took me from hobby videos to filming for big brands and even on stage with Skrillex, all in 1 year. So here's how you can do the same. Instantly 100 times better. It still talks about him, kind of like here's how I did it. But, and here's the very important distinction here, the viewers see their own problems and needs through his lens. And it actually starts with their problem, right? If you're a stuck videographer. And that's essentially all we need to understand about our audience to make things blow up. Because when you know where they are and who they are, obviously, you instantly know what to say, how to say it, which hook, and basically you're gonna never run out of content ideas again. Great, so now we've got the first step down. We fixed the message. We set ourselves up to grow beyond that 10K follower mark. But there's a second step we actually need to do to propel this whole thing. We're gonna need to make the algorithm recognize this and push you further, or actually start pushing. Number 2, and this is where most creators actually go wrong, very wrong, especially the ones that have one-off viral hits and that are now being stuck. They basically, what they do is copy people instead of patterns, right? Because they hear advice from gurus out there saying like, just copy this hook from your competitor. That is the secret. This is how I was able to get 100,000 views, right? And obviously some of them will do the same from copying this, but that's obviously not the end goal. People are not going to remember you. And the first thing people do is go to the biggest names in their niche, people who've already built massive trust, and assume that what works for those people will also work for a brand new account nobody's ever seen, aka yours. Spoiler alert, it won't. Because for big accounts, their face is literally the hook, right? The dynamics at play are totally different, which is why recreating what the big players do can actually wreck your account and all of your strategy, and it can halt your growth. It's like a stranger on the street coming up to you and saying, well, close your eyes and follow me, right? Obviously, you wouldn't do that either. Or would you sick mind? But if your best friend suddenly came over to you and said the same thing, you'd probably do it. And that's exactly the same difference between you and a big massive creator. Trust. They've earned it, you haven't. So how do you actually recreate your way into breakout videos to gain the algorithm's trust without feeling like a hack or a copycat? So first of all, and that's the most important part here, never ever copy anybody huge in your niche, right? Just stay away from them. It's not gonna work. Instead, look at smaller but currently emerging creators and copy the patterns that they use for their breakup videos, how they structure it, what's in their first frame, the text hook. For example, this one you can mostly really just copy, honestly, if all the other things are different. But yeah, those things mostly. So let me show you actually something crazy. This is how predictable patterns really are.
3 levels of fried eggs.
3 levels of curling hair.
3 levels of speed ramps.
3 levels of guitar playing. Level 1.
All the same, similar yet different, right? So to make the same thing happen for you, as fast as possible, you got to do the following things right now. Step 1, pick 5 breakout above average videos from creators your ideal audience already follows. Not the big ones, but some that are breaking out right now, basically. Step 2, spot the patterns and write it down. What's the first frame look like? What's the pacing? What is the text hook? The verbal hook? What is the style? Step 3, recreate this very structure and the essence that you got using your own message and your face, obviously, cater to your audience and what they actually want, right? It's the most important thing. Now, once you post exactly like that for a while, the data suddenly starts to talk back. What a surprise. And that's when you actually stop guessing and start scaling with the next piece of the puzzle, which is step number 3, optimizing by data, not your feeling. Really, really important. And this is the part most creators actually skip. They post a video, look at the views, sometimes it fails, and then they move on because they're like, it didn't work, the idea didn't work. But the truth is, your next viral video is already hidden inside your previous analytics. You just need to know what to look for. So, for example, if we go back to Henry's video, here's his retention graph. He sent it in to me, where you can clearly see most people leave within the first 3 seconds. Afterwards, by the way, it's actually pretty good, and it's kind of a straight line, which means the hook basically just sucked. And again, if you remember, it's not just the hook itself and the technical aspects of the hook, but actually how the video is being packaged for his specific target audience. So knowing that right now, what should you track? Because there's so many things to track, and honestly, you don't need to track that much. So first of all, most important thing being retention graphs. So take a look at all your retention graphs, spot any noticeable drop, right? Or a spike, or something that just feels different. That's when people start to leave. So whenever you find something like that, The easiest solution is to take the exact same video and just cut out the segment that drops people and just repost it again. Yes, it can be that simple, literally. Now, if the drop happens at the beginning, obviously your hook sucks. If it drops midway through the video, probably your pacing is off or something's wrong with the script or it's just boring, right? And if it drops towards the end, which is something I see a lot, it's most likely your call to action. More often, call to actions wreck more than they actually do good if you don't really know what to do. Point being, and now pay attention, just because a video failed and didn't get views doesn't mean that the idea is dead. Quite the opposite. My most successful creators that I work with literally failed their way, iterating one idea over and over and over again using this data until it finally hits. So here's an example of a video that flopped initially, as you can see, pretty bad. Second time, it looked like this. Third time, like this. And the 7th time they finally figured it out, it actually started to hit hard because they learned from all the previous iterations. So remember, every drop off that you get is a clue. When you fix what makes people leave, you actually make the algorithm stay. And by far the number one problem people have is at the beginning with your hooks. So if your skip rate, for example, is more than 40% and your retention graphs look like this, first of all, get my free hook analyzer below and then check your hooks. And then watch this video next where I'll show you exactly how to create hooks 10 times better than the rest. And it's not even that hard.